How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are continuing the series of reacting to your gaming hot takes. Now, I've uploaded a couple community tabs and such, but I've mostly got the hot takes from the comment section of the last gaming hot take video. So if you guys want to be involved in this, drop a comment down below in this video, and I'll make sure to get to it when we do the next part of this series. I just want to clear up something with you guys because a lot of you don't seem to understand what a hot take actually is. A hot take is an unpopular opinion. And I see a lot of comments that go along the lines of like, Asylum has the best atmosphere. And it's like, that's not an unpopular opinion whatsoever. That's almost like a universally agreed upon opinion. It's not going to be agreed upon by everybody, but it's almost just accepted as a fact at this point. Or if someone was to say, like, the Batmobile was overused. Again, that's not really a hot take, because a lot of people would agree with that. So try to keep it to things that, you guys would genuinely consider would be an unpopular opinion. But there are no rules, and it doesn't have to pertain to Batman. It could be any sort of game that you guys would like, and if it's interesting enough, I'll answer it, as long as I've at least heard of the game to some degree. But without wasting too much of your time, we're going to get right into this first hot take, and it comes to us from Ben C77. He says, hot take, Asylum has the best story. I wouldn't call this the hottest take in the world because that stuff is very subjective, as is everything in gaming, right? But I definitely disagree with Asylum being the best story. Do I think it's the worst? I don't think it's the worst story out of the entire franchise. I've always said this about Asylum, that Asylum's story is basic. But I think people hear the word basic, and they think that means bad. Basic does not mean bad at all, and I understand why the developers did this. It's because of the fact that, a Batman and Joker story in a brand new video game franchise on consoles that people have never played Batman games on before, a list of reasons why. And a lot of people who were buying this game, it was their first time diving into Batman media. So the developers wanted to make something easy and basic, like a Batman and Joker story. And I think it is a good story. Is it the best, though? No, absolutely not. The best, for me at least, is Batman Arkham Origins. And I don't think that's a hot take in itself, because Arkham Knight's story is universally, mid at best. And Arkham City's story is pretty good with some pacing issues. And Arkham Asylum's is pretty consistent throughout the entire game, at least. But Arkham Origins, for me, is just the best. It has the most interesting characters. It has the most diverse villains, best boss fights. It just has a little bit of everything in there that you would enjoy. So I would definitely say Asylum is probably number 2 or number 3 for best stories, but definitely not the best. This next hot take is another story-based one, and it comes from us from TTG Damar. And he says, hot take, Batman Arkham Knight had the best story. It was so movie-like and so well made and so emotional. Such a pivotal point for Batman, and we get to see a different side of him than him just kicking ass. He has to leave behind his loved ones. I definitely don't think the Arkham Knight has the best story. In my opinion, it's actually worse than the Arkham Asylum story. It's probably the worst actual campaign out of the franchise, because upon replaying the games a couple months ago, I went through each and every game, and I got the most bored playing Batman Arkham Knight, and even because I've played all of them, right? But with the other ones, I didn't get bored so quickly. But I also want to argue that could have just been me getting a bit burnt out from playing so much Batman Arkham in the course of a month. I was playing it almost every single day, and I think I was just getting a bit burnt out, so that could be a part of it. However, the story just isn't all that intriguing for me, mostly because the main antagonists aren't really that interesting to me. The most interesting part of the game is the Joker, in my opinion, and this was supposed to be a game post-Joker's dying. This was supposed to be about a new chapter in Gotham, seeing that there could still be a lot of danger surrounding Gotham without the Joker even being there. Instead, the Joker kind of took center stage in this one, and for me, it just wasn't really all that interesting. So, like I said before, I do think that Arkham Origins has the best story by far, and I'm not gonna crap on somebody who says that Arkham Knight had the best story, because again, this stuff is very subjective. If you were to say it had the best combat, I would agree. The best other things, maybe I could agree, but a story is probably one of the worst things about Batman Arkham Knight, but that's just my opinion. Our third hot take of the video is actually a non-Batman related one. I wanted to branch out a little bit. I know, I spoil you guys. It comes to us from Yodalog202. And he says, hot take, Marvel's Spider-Man 1 is overrated. People make it seem really unique and like one of the best Spider-Man stories, even though it's in fact a generic Spider-Man story of Spider-Man fighting villains while working with Otto. Then Otto becomes evil because his tentacles, and so he forms the Sinister Six. It's quite literally every freaking Spider-Man origin story for Doc Ock in the gameplay. It doesn't feel as amazing as people say after I played the Batman Arkham series. Okay, so there's a bit to unpack here with this one. Marvel Spider-Man 1, in my opinion, was a very, very good game. I haven't played Miles Morales or Spider-Man 2 yet, so I can't really give my opinion on those games. However, what I can tell you is I enjoyed Spider-Man 1, because I'm not someone who knows a lot about the Spider-Man lore. This was like my first introduction to the character and the villains and such, and I really enjoyed it. And I think you have to understand that it's a similar concept to Batman Arkham Asylum, because this was like the first AAA level Spider-Man game that we'd seen, to my knowledge. If there's another one, let me know, but I don't think so. And I didn't have a lot of knowledge when it came to the movies and stuff. So for this to be, for someone who has never really dove into the Spider-Man lore before, and I don't know nothing about Otto, I don't know nothing about the other villains, or Peter Parker's, backstory, I don't know anything about this. It was a very, very good story. But I understand for someone who already knew about the characters beforehand and already knows everything about Spider-Man lore, that yes, it could definitely be seen as a generic story. And I don't know if Marvel's Spider-Man 1 is considered the best in the franchise. It could absolutely be. I don't know. You guys are going to have to let me know down in the comments. But I thought it was very good. But if you want to talk about the combat is too easy in this game. In my opinion, it's very, very easy. Now, that doesn't mean it's not entertaining or that it's not fun. I absolutely have a lot of fun. Spider-Man's really quick. He's got some really good countering abilities. I love using the webs to tie up people. It's a lot of freaking fun. But it is extremely easy, and I didn't even really use any like extra power-ups or extra gadgets that you could upgrade throughout the course of the game. I didn't even do that much, and it was still very, very easy. But that being said, it was still a lot of fun, and it was still very enjoyable. Is it overrated? I don't know, because like I said, I'm not someone who's super deep into Spider-Man. But it could be, it might not be. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about all the Marvel Spider-Man games. Our last hot take of the video comes to us from the Diddler-P4N. And he has 4 of these hot takes, so let's see what he has to say. The first one is that the Arkham Knight tank fights were actually pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, the actual tank fights sections were fine. I didn't really have much of an issue with them. The Cobra tanks were absolutely awful. An unnecessary addition. The Arkham Knight boss battle, the Deathstroke boss battle, they're all terrible, all awful. I don't really have anything positive to say about them. And the Batmobile itself, I find to be very, very mid, especially with its use of the campaign. But just the fights on their own, yeah, I'd say they're fine against like the non-human tanks or whatever you want to call them. The next one, Arkham Origins had the best suit selection in challenge maps. Is that a hot take? I mean, I guess it's probably universally agreed upon that Arkham Knight has the best suit selection. And in terms of challenge maps, that's kind of up in the air between City, Origins, Night. Like, that's kind of just up to your own interpretation. I don't really think there's much of a hot take there. Number 3, Arkham Asylum had the best map in terms of best atmosphere and world building. That's not a hot take. Everyone agrees Asylum has the best atmosphere and probably the best world build. I don't really think that's a hot take. And number 4, Mark Hamill is the best Joker of all time, including Heath Ledger. Yes, again, that's not a hot take. This is what I mean by some people don't fully understand what a hot take is, an unpopular opinion. And I think 2 of those were not very, like, they were very popular opinions. And you can argue the Arkham Origins had the best suit selection one. That's not really a hot take, but, like, it's better than Arkham Asylum's and the Mark Hamill one. But, like, not to come across as, like, rude or anything, but yeah, these aren't really hot takes in my opinion. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into this hot takes video. Yeah, if you guys want to drop your hot takes that are actually hot, drop down in the comments below. And if we get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, guys, I will play all 4 Batman Arkham games in one day. You heard it here first. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!